So viewers, I'm coming to you with some good news.
But before I leave,
We want to talk about
it is my duty to bring to the attention of the people of Kenya the well-being of our nation. One is the harassment of small-scale gas traders sanctioned by William Ruto. Number two is a plot to rig the 2027 general elections using the Korean Mail Technologies Limited system. Targeted harassment of small-scale gas traders. I've on several occasions brought to the attention of Kenyans on the system sabotage, deliberate harassment, state-sanctioned extortion, and impoverishment of the people of Kenya by this regime. Lost on its mandate and promises made in 2022, the regime is hell-bent to impoverish the very small-scale traders and the people on whose pedestal it ran. Today, I want to speak to millions of small-scale traders in the gas industry who have, for the last few weeks, reached out to me after months of oppression and an extortion cartel. Let me remind the people of Kenya that this regime was founded on the philosophy of bottom-up. The small trader, the Kenyan retailer, who was supposed to be moved from the bottom of the economic pyramid, now the retailer has been moved to the bottomless pit. Kenya has 4 million to 5 million micro and small retail enterprises who hold dukas, kiosks, and market stores. They form a majority of neighborhood shops supplying daily household goods. This number is well over 60% of the medium and small enterprises market base. On 2nd March 2023, at the Kenyatta International Conference Center, William Ruto, during the launch of the Women Enterprise Fund, in the presence of hundreds of women, made the famous Mutungi ya gas promise that the price of the 6 kg gas cylinder would trade between 300 to 500 Kenya shillings from the then 2,800. This was to be effective from June 2023. Little did we know that he was planning to raid the trade and dominate it. For the last 2 years, small-scale gas dealers have been put under ruthless state-sanctioned seizure, systematic harassment, and a total subversion of the regulatory framework and the guidelines for the retail of liquefied petroleum gas in cylinders. Let me break it down as this is happening. In June 2025, the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Idil Lagat, formed a clandestine police unit, which is stationed in Hurlingham, Nairobi, formerly known as the Heart Center. This police station is not gazetted. It is called the Black Site, as it's popularly known. It has an armory, a clandestine budget, and a multi-rank police command with Mr. Robert Linyiru Tuma serving as the OSPD. There are other ranks of SSP, OCS, Deputy OCS, OC Crime, and 25 rogue officers in the rank of. This unit operates under private supervision of a private citizen, Mr. Cleve Mutiso. Mr. Mutiso is always in the field brandishing firearms and threatening small-scale traders, doing illegal inspections, ordinarily the duties of the Energy Police Station in Kawi House. These vigilantes, small-scale gas retailers, using private vehicles and private lorries, they took away with them over 200,000 gas cylinders. No single inventory was done, no OB entry was recorded, and nobody was taken to court. Where are these 200,000 gas cylinders? These overseers officers report directly to DIG Langat, untouchable. On March 10, 2025, EPRA, in a letter reference EPRA PECP/SE/1/CO/PM, declared itself the sole enforcement agency in this sector. However, the vigilante group under DIG Langat and Mr. Mutiso get direct support from one Deputy Director of Surveillance and Enforcement, Major Retired Agostino Uma, who shares crucial intelligence and points of sale for the licensed small-scale traders. I'm aware that on 21st August 2025, the small-scale gas retailers in Kenya, who are over 500,000, wrote to President William Ruto on this matter, and a letter reference MBN/GAN/97/25. Again on 1st April 2026, under reference MISC/2026, they wrote again to President William Ruto. After these letters, the harassment has more than doubled. Hithato, the pain is more. When Eliud Langat deployed this team to North Rift, Nyanza, and Western regions, they forcibly took away gas cylinders and vehicles and put them at the Kakamega. They wanted to prosecute the matter. The Office of the Public Prosecution violated reference ODPP/KAK/CAM/1/069, dated October 2025, stated that this operation was carried out without notice to EPRA and therefore improper per Section 11E of the Energy Act 2019. The above is just one of the cases of brutal and constant harassment, arbitrary and unlawful arrest, and unlawful enforcement procedures against LPG traders. It must be clearly noted that no LPG trader is against any regulations and laws. The question is harassment, arbitrary arrests, illegal seizure of gas cylinders, and extortion by DIG Langat and his militia. We note that when the current acting EPRA DG, one Dr. Okech, is seemingly overcompromised and accomplice or not in charge of EPRA, the raids have been intensified by Mr. Cliff Mutiso and DIG Eliud Lagat. We have evidence that the sized gas cylinders are channeled to private and upcoming LPG enterprises owned by politicians and other state actors. One of these farms is in Kitengela, and Kenyans saw these gas cylinders during the Olkalau by-election, and your guess is as good as mine on who owns this enterprise. The people of Kenya are over 500,000 traders of LPG gas demand as follows: that the inhuman treatment and physical assault of small-scale traders by this vigilante group be stopped immediately, and the black site in Hurlingham, the illegal police station, be shut down forthwith. Number two, legal action be taken against Mr. Mutiso, Deputy Inspector General Eliud Langat, the command of this ungazetted police station, at the 25 clandestine rogue police officers. Number three, the 200,000 gas cylinders seized before they returned and to the affected traders compensated as per the law. Number four, the rogue EPRA officers led by Major Retired Agostino Uma and the Acting Director General Ketch be investigated and prosecuted for abuse of office and subversion of regulations. Five, that the legal framework and guidelines in the trade of liquefied petroleum gas be observed and followed to the letter. Finally, we are adequately informed that this LPG gas harassment of small gas traders has more than it meets the eye. William Ruto, through Ashirami Synergy, a company closely associated with him, wants to introduce a deal like the petroleum's G2G ragtag to completely drive out other players and free market in the LPG sector. We are also aware of other commercial interests of William Ruto in the LPG sector. One, he owns Surge Energy Limited, a leading manufacturer of gas cylinders in Kenya, situated in Kitengela. This is where the gas cylinders for Olkalau were repainted and repackaged for distribution in Olkalau. Two, he owns Taifa Gas, a 45,000 metric tons liquefied petroleum gas, LPG import and storage terminal at the Dogo Kudu Special Economic Zone in Mombasa, now under construction. Mr. Ruto has given instructions to transfer the track and trace function from the regulator to eCitizen to allow the procurement and onboarding of the LARU, which he has purchased. For track and trace through eCitizens, we undertake the digital tracking of gas cylinders in the market This contract is being awarded to De La Rue, and we all know that William Ruto owns De La Rue. Mr. William Ruto, please leave small-scale traders alone. You have taken too much. And again, we kindly ask you, how much is enough? The Kenya Integrated Election Management System. Kenyans, you'll bear witness that I've spoken to the IBC chairman, Mr. Erastus Ethkon, in my capacity as a leader in this country and as a responsible citizen on several electoral matters. I've advised him that IBC has had image and trust issues, and the people of Kenya for a long time know that. I've taken the trouble further and reminded him of the 2007/2008 inactions and actions of the then ECK, Electoral Commission of Kenya, and the resultant chaos and mayhem in the country. Bwana Ethkon knows how controversial his appointment was and to whom he pays his allegiance to. Nevertheless, the country has 55 million Kenyans. Mr. Ethkon has a choice to make: stand with Kenyans, 55 million of them, or choose to burn this country. He lives around and he knows the people of Kenya. From the outset, Kenyans hold the view that his commission and himself are an appendage of William Ruto, and they are biased and do so to serve his political playbook. He has not spoken to this matter, and he will not, and you all know why. Mr. Ethkon is well aware that when he was named as IBC chairman, he lived in a rented apartment. Mr. Kimani Ichung'wah, the leader of majority, told a group of public officials that they procured a house for Mr. Ethkon in Karen at 200 million shillings. Mr. Ethkon is yet to respond to this matter. You are aware that on 11th August 2026, tender reference number IBC/OIT/01/2026-2027 for supply, delivery, installation, testing, commissioning, support and maintenance of the integrated elections management system, hardware, equipment, and accessories was advertised and is to close on September 1st, 2026 at 10 a.m. You are all aware that Kenyans do not know is that the tender process and the result has already been preconceived and is awaiting rubber stamping to Miru, MIRU Systems Company Limited of South Korea. Mr. Chairman Ethkon, it is within your knowledge and mischief that what is actually happening is a mundane public relations exercise to manage the other bidders and 55 million Kenyans. Mr. Chairman, you are aware that to facilitate this activity, IBC commissioners fired the procurement manager in IBC and installed a puppet to manage this tender. Mr. Chairman and your Vice Chairman, Fahima Arfat Abdallah, have been compromised and are the drivers of this tender process against the concurrence and the wishes of the other commissioners. Mr. Chairman, this is not the first time I'm raising an alarm on your Vice Chairperson. You will recall that during the by-elections in Magarini last year, this same Vice Chairperson was largely involved in the malpractices, and I made the matter public. You did nothing about it. This confirms that she was holding your brief and that you are the appointing authority. Mr. Chairman, with your concurrence, the PS for Interior, Remo Domolo, the PS for Immigration and Citizen Affairs, Mr. Belio Kipsang, have held meetings with Miru Systems Company Limited of South Korea. They are in the process of giving the company access to the country's voter registration database for integration purposes. But Kenyans are asking, who is Miru System Company Limited? This is a South Korean company with a very bad history of rigging elections across the world. Their global failures are well documented, having faced allegations of faulty technology in Argentina, Philippines, and the DRC, where they deployed their equipment and technology. In 2018, Miru Systems Company Limited supplied BVR kits to the Democratic Republic of Congo. Reports show that they delivered the election equipment 6 months late. Following the controversy, the South Korean government publicly distanced itself from this company. In the Democratic Republic of Congo in 2023, election observers reported that up to 45% of polling stations experienced equipment malfunctions, and this potentially excluded 17 million Congolese from voting. Again in Congo, eligible voters' cards were used and actual voters were removed from the roll of voters. Following Congo's 2018 and 2023 polls, the U.S. Treasury Department placed election commissions, then president and two of his deputies under sanctions for undermining the democratic process of institutions. In 2024, in the Philippines, the mock elections conducted using Miru's technology encountered fatal flaws. Many organizations, especially human rights groups, rejected Miru's explanations, pointing to unresolved security and reliability issues. It is beyond discussions that Kenya would ever even imagine having such a vendor for our 2027 general elections. During the October 2024 parliamentary elections in Iraq's Kurdistan region, election monitors claimed that voting machines in up to 70 to 75% of stations malfunctioned by failing to properly record and transmit results. Iraq's Board of Supreme Audit raised red flags and warned the Election Commission about systems credibility just days before the vote. Following the election, various political blocs in Iraq claimed the machines were hacked or manipulated, triggering widespread political tension and a mandated manual recount. The Miru plan in Kenya, as directed by William Ruto. Under the instructions of William Ruto, Meru Technologies has been instructed to prepare a new voters register and suppress voters from the following regions perceived to be against this regime. 1, Western Kenya; 2, Nyanza region, but in Kisii and Nyamira.